Okay guys, in this exercise we are going to take this messed up file right here and we are going to convert this text into columns. We're going to learn the left, right, mid stands for middle, trim, and proper functions as well. So let's get started. Okay, so the very first thing that we have to do is we are going to select where this information is located. So everything is in column A right here. So we're going to highlight from A2 to A8. We're going to highlight that range. And we're going to go use the Data tab. And we're going to use this button right here called Text to Columns. And once we press that, we're going to get a window that pops up. This is our default, and this is the one we want to use. Our delimiters that we've learned before, the characters such as commas that separate each field out. We're going to click the next key. Alright, in this delimiters here, we've got commas, so we're going to take the tab, uncheck the tab, we're going to add the comma. So we can see that it's going to separate everything into different columns as well here. So now we're going to click next and we are going to click finish. Now we need to type in our headings up here at the top so we know what each one of these are. So in cell A1 we are going to type in EXT, that stands for extension, and then code, and then EMP stands for employer or employee, and then ID stands for the ID. And now we're going to press enter. You can drag these to make these bigger for each one. Alright, and cell B1 we're going to type an S and a P and then the word first for our first name. Hit our right arrow key and then we're going to type an S and a P and the word last for last name. And then this is a date, so this is our hire date for when these employees were hired. The next one is our alarm. And then in F1 we are going to type in a capital O and the word code 1 with the right arrow key and capital O and code 2. So now we know what all of these are. So let's make sure that we adjust all of these columns by double clicking here or dragging them out, whatever's easier for you. Okay. So now we just converted that information from converting the text into columns, so now it is readable. Now we're ready to learn the left function. Alright, so we're going to click in cell H1 and we're going to type in EXT. That is the extension for their code if we were to call them on the phone, their extension for like their phone number. That's what that means. Alright, and then to the right here in I1 we are going to type in floor and press enter. So we got extension and then we have floor. So click in cell H2. Alright, so we're going to use the left function here. So we are going to go up to formulas and we are going to work in the text function here and we're going to scroll down and we're going to choose left. So remember what the left means. It's going to pull the numbers. We're going to pull out all these numbers that are on the first part of this this column here. So watch how we do this. Alright, so now in this text box we're going to click on A2. So we're looking in this column. We're going to press the tab key and we want just the first three numbers. So we're going to press 3. just for the first three numbers in each one of these. And then we're going to press OK. So you see here it picked out just the first three numbers here, or the three characters. And now as we drag down, it picked out every one of the first three and every single one of those. Okay, so now we're going to click in cell I2. Remember, we can go up here to text and click on left, or we can also use recently used too. So if we click on left here, now in this one we are going to do this one just a little bit different. So we are going to use A2 again, and we're going to press the tab key. So what we're going to look for on this one is we are looking for the very first number, and that is the floor that they work on. So the num characters would be 1, because that's the first number that we want. And you can see that that would be a 4. So we hit OK, and then the 4 appears. So when we click and fill these down, everybody that in this list works on either floor, the third floor or the fourth floor. So that is how you do the left function. Alright, next we're going to practice the right function. So in J1, we're going to type the word birthday. So we're going to see when everybody's birthday is. Press enter. So we should be in cell J2. So what we're going to do here, oh, and also we are going to type in K1. Let's type in employee, short for that, or excuse me, EMP, and then an I and a D for employee ID number. So we're going to use employee ID number 2. Alright, so now let's go find the birthday. So we are in cell J2. So this time we're going to go up to text, and we're going to find right. So scroll down to the R's, choose right. Now remember what right means. Okay, remember what right means. We are looking for their actual birthdays. Okay, so we are going to click in E2 in this jumbled up mess here. So we're going to click in E2, and we're going to hit the tab key. And so now we are looking for the last, because that would be on the right, would be the last, and we're going to look for the last 3 characters, and that will tell us what month their birthday is in. So when we type a 3 here, we can see APR, that stands for April. So once we click OK, it types in the APR for us. And then we're going to click and drag it down. And that's how you do a right 2. Now we're going to practice one more. So in K2, alright, so this time we are going to look for the employee number that is over here at the end. So we can do recently used or text, whichever one. So I'm going to click right. Now our text area that we want to look in is A2, and hit our tab key. And this time we want the last 5 digits, and that is their employee number, kind of like your student ID number that recognizes who you are. So once we have that in, we hit OK, and it pulls in the last 5 digits of that range, or that cell right there. So then we click and drag down, and that one completes that one. So now the right function is done. Alright, the next one we're going to do, or the next two we're going to do, is called the mid function. So mid means middle. So in L1, we're going to type in EMP cats 1, and EMP Cat 2. Okay, for employees, for number 1, employee number 2 here. Alright, so for this one, now we are in cell L2 and we are looking for mid. So we're going to go back up to text. We're going to scroll down to mid. And once we click on mid, you're going to see something a little different. Okay, so we want to see what the middle is here. So we are still taking, this is going to be our initials here. So we are, or some kind of code in here. So we're going to click on A2. Alright, now we're going to hit the tab key. And once we press the tab key, okay, we've got to look for a starting point. So think about what we've used. We've used the 425. Now we want to use that little O and O. So the starting point would be 1, 2, 3, and it'll be the 4th character. So we're going to say the 4th number, or the 4th character here would be number 4. And then we hit the tab key again, and how many characters do we want? This would be a 2. So you can see that's going to pull the OO there. So, and then it's got the OO here. So here we press OK. And that one completes that mid. So then we click and drag down. So it will pick the 4th and the 5th character for each one. Now let's try the M2. Alright, in this M2, we are going to go back to the mid, and for our text we're going to use the same one, which is A2. Okay, so now we got to think about what we're doing here, because we want to use the other 2 initials here. So we've got to count over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because we want to start with the N. So we're going to start with number 6, and we still want, by pressing the tab, we still want to add 2 characters in here. So then we hit OK, and it pulled out the N and the P. So now we click and drag down, and that one finishes the mid function. Alright, we have 2 left. So the next one we're going to do is the trim function. So we're going to click in cell N1, and we're going to type first, and we're going to hit our right arrow key, and then in O1 we're going to type in last. This is going to represent the first name and the last name. Alright, so this SP over here kind of meant there was a space in there. So watch what we do here. For trim, that means we're taking out the extra spaces. So in 2 here, we're going to go up to text, and we're going to scroll down to the T's and click trim. Alright, so we're going to click on B2. Okay, and I know this is going to be hard to see here, but you will notice that there is a space right there, and it takes the space out here. So you will notice that. Okay? Alright, so we're going to press OK. And when we press OK, it automatically took that space out. And then we can drag these down. So now it took out the spaces in there. If you kind of pay attention, there is a little bit of space right through there. Alright. Alright, let's click on O2. So we can go back up to recently used or text, click on the trim. We're going to do the same thing again. We're going to click in C2 because we're doing last name now. So you notice they have a space here and this one doesn't because it's taken it out. So we hit OK. And then we click and drag it down. Alright, that one is finished. We have one more. Alright, so now we are going to use the proper function. So let's click in cell A11. In A11, we're going to type in the word first again. And in B11, we're going to type in last. So for proper means all capital letters. Proper means the first letter is capital. So let's see how we're going to do this. So you can notice that their names are lowercase, so we're going to fix them into the first letter of the string of text is going to be in caps. All right. So we are going to right here, we are going to go up to text, and we are going to scroll to the P's and click proper. Alright, so now we are going to click in into, which is where we took the space out and already fixed it over here. So you can see here little d, and this will make it a capital D because it changes it to uppercase for the first letter. So we're going to hit OK. Alright, so now click and drag down. See if we got everybody. Yes. So we went down from A12 to A18 and to get everybody in there. Alright, so now let's practice one more time for the last name. So we're going to go to recently used, proper, and we are going to press O2. So it capitalizes or uppercases the O in Ortiz. So I'm going to press OK. Same thing again. Now it is in all capital, or the first letter is capital for proper. Alright, that concludes this part.